Hello, welcome back to Mountain Gym Card Collectibles. If your week is going awesome. Anyway, today I spotted some strange news. But before we get into that, I just wanted to recap a few things. And this is an article that came out. Let's see. June 17th, 2025. Okay. What this article is talking about is, like it says in the headlines, this is from Clicked. 5 innovations that change sports cards, from refractors to inserts to autos. Fanatics' Michael Rubin says the rookie debut patch was the greatest invention in hobby history. Well, I'd have to disagree. I mean, billionaires are great at gaslighting people. And hey, a patch is great. But it's not like he's the guy who invented putting patches in cards. He's not the guy that, rolled out the first auto card or the first refractor. Michael Rubin is just a good, wealthy individual who likes to gaslight people on how great he is, But he tends to believe that this rookie debut patch is the greatest invention in hobby history. All right. How do you feel about that, Wade? Do you think it's the greatest invention, for sports cards? I don't. I mean, if you really want to get into that, you'd have to say, well, it was the very first patch that was ever put into a card, to be honest. So anyway. But Michael Rubin likes to toot his own horn. Then we roll into this latest debacle, to say the least. And I'm sure they can figure this out. I certainly hope so. But this comes from Clicked. Like it says here, Fanatics working with MLB to fix debut patch malfunctions. 2 rookies had patches fall off their jerseys during debut games in August. Here we see Red Sox rookie pitcher Peyton Tully was seen with a patch on his left shoulder during warm-ups, but it was not visible during the game. Yeah. And there you can see it. I don't know if you can see that really good, but I can see it. It's just above that black patch. You can see it, okay? Well, then we come down here. Like it says here, collectors noticed Tully's patch was not on his jersey when he took the mound for his first career start. And somewhere along the way, when he was warming up in the bullpen, like it says here, it definitely fell off somewhere between warming up and the dugout and the start of the game, Green wrote on X. All right. So they reviewed this through Getty's images and, were scratching their heads. Now, here's one with Carson Williams. Like it says here. Early images of Williams batting and playing the field during the second inning show the debut patch attached to his left sleeve. Additional photographs from the game, including Williams' first career home run in the 7th inning, show a clean sleeve without a patch. So there you can see it. And there it's obviously gone. So, like it says here, the most noticeable sale of an RDPDA to date is the $1.11 million paid for the Paul Skeens in March, which was purchased by Dick's Sporting Goods. And like it says here, according to Carlisle's public records, 5 rookie debut patch autographs have sold for $50,000 or more, and 3 have topped $100,000. All right. So, what is the story with these patches? When I look at them, I don't know if you remember, but I'm kind of old. But I remember growing up in the 80s, and you would get these little plastic things from vending machines, little plastic containers. You open them up, and there would be like a sticker that you could attach to your clothes. Kind of a plastic puffy sticker. And you might do that, and eventually the thing would fall off, Is that what these patches are? Are they just, I mean, clearly they're not sewing them onto the jerseys. So they're obviously using adhesive, if they're just falling off that easily, which is kind of funny, It's like, hey, rookie, it's your big debut. Let me just slap this little sticker on your jersey here. Something similar to cheap junk from the 80s from Taiwan. And we're going to sell this patch for $1 million, if not more, or over 50 grand. And like Michael Rubin says, this is the greatest invention in all of baseball cards. They just don't want to put in the effort to actually sew it onto the jerseys and then take the effort to like on-sew it, because that would take work, wouldn't it? That may take some dedication. And we know that a billionaire like Michael Rubin, he's not dedicated to fans. He's dedicated to his own bank account. Gaslighting everybody in the process, So I thought this was hilarious, and like it gets into it. Here's a little snippet. Without sleeves or jerseys, how patches would be affixed to fighters and wrestlers was something fanatics had to navigate with UFC and WWE. Topps and Fanatics eventually settled on attaching patches to boots or sneakers for WWE wrestlers and to walkout jerseys for fighters. So, when you see a debut wrestler, you're really going to have to scope down these patches, I guess, on their shoes. Or if you see like a debut football player or baseball player, you're really going to have to do your homework, unfortunately, to see if the patch was actually worn by the player. Rather than it just being slapped on the player for 1 or 2 seconds and it falling off before the player even goes out and, pitches or plays the game, like Peyton Tolley, So if you get Peyton Tolley's rookie patch, I don't know what to tell you. What would they dig it out of the bullpen, out of the dirt? He got people in there with little paintbrushes sweeping. Where's that patch? So I thought this was funny, especially with our big leader, Michael Rubin, hyping this up to no end. So anyway, how do you feel about this incident or these incidents? Clearly, it's not the first time it's happened. Obviously, if you have debut patches, you should likely, I guess, search out their very first games and make sure that the patches are on the jerseys. Unfortunately, I wish that it didn't have to be taken that far. For what my few viewers at least will know. I mean, I'm not the biggest channel on YouTube for sports cards, so this will likely just get swept under the rug, and the gaslighting will continue from all of your monetized YouTube channels and their big gurus. That's just my take on it. They don't want you to talk about this stuff. They just want you to wake up every day with a big smile on your face. They want you to plug into their YouTube show. Everything is hunky-dory for sports cards. But, the more you dig into sports cards, TCG, there is a lot of issues that tends to get swept under the rug. Anyway, how do you feel about this? If you feel differently, leave some comments, or if you just have a comment period. Like to thank my subscriber base and my viewers, and I hope you have a great day. Anyway, hope you tune again for the next episode of Mountain Gym Card Collectibles. I'm out of here. Bye.